Last time on the Serpent Isle. With the Var leaves in hand, I hurried myself back to Monitor in order to cure the avatar of Lydia's poison. After that, Harna urged us to view the crystal ball for clues as to Kantra's whereabouts. Peeking into the magical ball, we saw Batlin chasing Kantra in some decrepit castle, but all didn't seem right. It culminated with Batlin and Kantra slinging spells at each other. After that scene was over, Harna mentioned that Kantra is possessed by something. Batlin called it a bane of chaos. We agreed to help the widow out, and she mentioned we need two things: the wooden practice sword Kantra trained with, and a hound known as the Hound of Doskar. She gave us Kantra's sword and told us that once we find the hound will be able to track her scent anywhere on the Serpent Isle. She also mentioned that due to prophecy, we need 3 artifacts in order to continue our journey north, one of which is a helmet, one that seemed rather familiar to her. For the last part though, I spent a lot of time talking to the knights. After becoming a knight myself, they are more willing to divulge information, one of which as to the identity as to who the spy Monitor is, or suspicions rather. Luther and a few others suspect Craig, the provisioner, but Craig has a different story and urged us to check out the black stone monolith north of Knight's Test where the goblins meet. Lastly, we met 2 knights who we haven't met yet, Templar and Luther. Templar is a member of the Bear Command and had a lot of information on how goblins strategize. A big takeaway is that goblins like to raid at night and sleep well into the morning due to partying the night before, well, when they're not raiding at least. We will definitely keep that in mind later on. Luther himself is also a member of the Bear Command and is the biggest bully in Monitor. Lucilla told us that Luther came across a magical shield recently, and that same shield turned out to be Dupre's shield. But of course, Luther isn't really willing to give up the shield, and challenged us to a duel at the list field for insulting his so-called honor. While we were at it, I also called him a bully, and told him that Lucilla finds him repulsive. The latter got him really upset, which is to our benefit, as Celia the Furrier mentioned Luther's guard goes down a lot when he gets really tempered. Meeting Luther on the list field turned out to be in our favor, even though we fought 2 other knights with him. I managed to best him with a halberd on my first try. Next time we'll meet him, I'm sure he'll happily give us Dupre's shield back. And then the part ended. Welcome back guys, some more Serpent Isle. You may notice we're not standing outside the banquet hall. We're in the town hall now, and Spectre is fixed. Earlier, I messed with the, I was trying to see if I can fix him, because if you remember, he was stuck in the banquet hall after the banquet for quite a while. Ultima VII has a cheat menu. You can access it through Exalt, going into Game Engine here, and just turning on cheats, and the fix was basically that I had to find Spectre's ID code, which is 77 for reference. He was stuck in waiting mode. I tried Hack Mover, moving him around, that didn't work. So I set his schedule to work. He's supposed to be working from 9 PM, or 9 AM, excuse me, to I believe noon. And now it works. I also made sure to rest about 5 hours later, 3 PM in the afternoon. Spectre's supposed to be eating at the tavern. And sure enough, he was. So let's hope we don't run into any issues later on. Even if there will be issues, I can always probably fix it through the cheat menu. That's why I have so many saves. If I have to go back, I can go back, but thankfully, we can talk to him. Which is what I'm going to do. Yes, how may I help? Thief. We were told about a thief here in Monitor earlier. Yes, frankly, 'tis true, but I do not like to talk about it. Someone in Monitor is a thief. Money is being taken from the treasury. 'Tis a mystery. The bears think the wolves are responsible. And of course, the wolves think the bears are responsible. We leopards are doing our best to keep them from killing each other. Please keep this to thyself. Only a few select individuals are aware of this crime. Frankly, we do not want a panic. Frankly? Yes, I do say that a lot, do I not? I apologize. 'Tis a bad habit. Frankly, to tell the truth, I should stop. What can you tell me about the bears, though? I tire of this entire system. Wolves, bears, leopards. Why can't we not be united rather than divided into commands? That's what I said in the last part. I'm a leopard, and frankly we're the only level-headed ones. When a leopard like Lord Marston is in residence as Lord of Monitor, things are much more in balance. As for the wolves and the bears, they are like children. And all the other ones disappeared. He likely just says the same thing if you choose wolves or leopards. Let's ask him about these strange coins that we got. The coins that I was described are the currency of the city of Fawn. Where thou mayest have gotten them without traveling to Fawn, I haven't a clue. Well, that's from the teleport storm, sir. But fare thee well, goodbye. Go in courage, he says. And I believe we can actually see it reflected on our page here. Nope, hasn't been updated. Some do, some don't. Though the shield we got from Luther, if you remember, Luther has Dupre's shield. We beat him up on the list field in the last part. So we gotta go talk to him later and get that shield for Dupre back. A shield from Monitor, right here, which possibly belongs to Luther. Not possibly, it does. And all my stuff has been scattered because I left the list field, but yeah. Let's go to the banquet hall real quick, because there's something I want to do. You know how Lucilla was still stuck doing her thing here during the banquet? When I was inducted as a Knight of Monitor, she's still in here. In the corner for some reason, she's cooking. Let's talk to her. Hello again, she says. You can rendezvous with her if you like. I'm not going to, though. Bye, and she should walk back to the tavern. It does not look like she seems like she wants to. So I may have to wait till like 3 p.m. That's when Spectre is eating at the tavern and she'll walk over there to tend to him. For some reason she's cooking here. She's not supposed to be in here. She's supposed to be back at the tavern. Celia went back. Spectre I fixed, but for some reason she wants to cook here. Oh well. We can still talk to her, so it's not a big deal. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this game. A few things. I'm not sure why it's happening. It could be SI fixes, it could be the Xhold version causing some wonkiness, or base Serpent Isle acts pretty weird too, at least back in the day. Alright, so in the last part I mentioned that I was going to go to the woods and find the meeting spot that Craig, the provisioner, was talking about. He says he saw a guy skulking around there. Could be a goblin, could be the spy, a Monitor. But I changed my mind. We're going to do that in this part. I actually want to go to Fawn first because it's not very smart exploring the wilderness without a map. Really glad I fixed that thing with Spectre earlier, because we do need to talk to him later on. Won't be in this part, probably won't be in the next part. We want to go over here. If you remember Callista, Delphynia, the people in Fawn mentioned that the Fellowship landed on the shores of Serpent Isle a while ago. And right as they entered the Serpent Isle, landed on the shores, that's when the storm started, and Fawn has blamed the Fellowship for being a bad omen. And I made a little funny in the fact that, you know, the Fellowship really subverted Britannia before the Avatar arrived in the Black Gate. They managed to eke their way into society very quietly, but they arrive on Serpent Isle, and right away, everyone is suspicious of them. They see themselves as, they see them as evil. They don't trust them at all. It's like, wow, people on Serpent Isle are a bit more smarter than the average Britannian. Or they're just simply really, really paranoid. Oh, that music. Who do we talk to? I guess we'll talk to... Is that Ruggs? Ruggs is not a pirate. That guy. I forget what his model is. I think he's just a... he's wearing chainmail. I don't know why I forgot about that. Let's talk to him first, because we got a letter delivered to him. Barkeeper? This is a house, Ruggs. Excuse me, friend. It is always a pleasure to see another Britannian Fawn avatar. How may I serve thee today? We got that letter from Delphynia, I'm sure you want it. Oh, blessings upon thee, my lord. Delphynia knows of my love, though she is unsure of her feelings for me. As long as she hath not rejected me out of hand, I will be content to wait. Thy good deed hath given me reason to live. As promised, I will send thee to my shipmate, Scots. We're not going to be here too long, by the way. We're going to talk to Ruggs, and we're going to talk to Scots and get the map, and I will probably go to those woods north of the Knight's Test and find that area, and overall just sort of explore, walk around, fight enemies, get some food too. I'm sure there's going to be some wildlife in there. Let's ask about Scots though. Scots is a fine fellow, though he often seems a bit distracted. He is a cartographer. Perhaps his maps will aid thee, though they are not as accurate as he wishes. Thou mayest find him somewhere within our camp. Oh, it's very specific, thank you very much. Not as accurate. Since we dare not stray too far from shelter, Scots cannot explore and map. He hath worked from existing maps that he received from the Fawn fishermen, so he is only sure of the accuracy of the coastline. Scots often complains that we cannot even explore by ship. None of us are happy to be stranded here. And what of Britannia? And also, no big deal about the map. I mean, any map is going to be helpful than no map. Our ship was hired by Batlin to transport scholars to explore new land and spread word of the Fellowship. Now, even if we wanted to return without Batlin, we cannot venture onto the sea for fear of these terrible storms. These storms are terrible. I've been a seafaring man for more than 20 years, my lord, and I cannot recall a time that I've seen storms as strange as these. I've seen lightning that jumps from cloud to cloud. I've seen lightning that shoots down like a pitchfork from the heavens. And I've seen lightning that dances across the mast of a ship. But I've never seen lightning that changes a man into a rock, or makes a ship disappear before thy very eyes. That's happened? Tell me about the man. I saw it happen, my lord. I was holding the door open for one of the crew who was running for shelter when one of those storms hit. There was this bright flash and a deafening crash, and when mine eyes cleared, Jeff was gone, and a chicken stood gawking at me in the very spot Jeff had been in. Interesting. What about the ship? With my very own eyes, I saw it. I was on the Fawn docks chatting with a salt named Olan in the days before I was banned from the city. That's the guy YOLO played a song for. All of a sudden, one of those storms hit and Olan and I dove for cover under a rowboat. We saw the ship that had just put out be hit by the lightning, and it just disappeared. Never found a trace of it or her crew. Change subject, very well, he says. Where'd Batlin go? Thou hast not heard of Batlin? He was the founder of the Fellowship movement in Britannia. He is a pious and worthy man, for all that he doth have strange companions. His description doth not much fit the Batlin we know, doth it, Avatar? No, it does not. What can you tell me about his companions, Ruggs? Batlin bade Leon stay and preach to the populace of Fawn, and left the ship with 3 companions, Palos, Brunt, and Deadeye. We heard of them. We have not seen them since, although they promised to return soon. What can you tell me of Leon? That's the guy who's not a companion following Batlin. Leon was especially chosen by Batlin to come and bring the hope of the Fellowship to this land. He hath been the only thing that hath kept us all sane since we have been stranded here. I strive to emulate him, in mine own humble way. What of... oh, let's ask about that. Emulate. Leon hath shown me that, by speaking well, people may see beyond my deformity and respect me. I cannot change the way I look, but I can change my speech. And as Leon sows the seeds of the Fellowship, I sow seeds in the soil. Gardening distracts my thoughts from being trapped ashore. And what can you tell me about Palos? I do not know much about him. Most of the time he remained below, or went about heavily cloaked. I do not think that he was of the race of men. We're all very thankful that he was so strong, I tell thee that. How strong? Palos was fearfully strong, my lord. During a storm, the main mast was struck by lightning, and came crashing down, jamming the winch that operated the sea anchor. Without the sea anchor, We would have been quickly lost to the angry waves. The pilot strode across the deck and shoved the mast aside to free the winch, all by himself. What of Brunt? Brunt is little more than a common mercenary, my lord. I suspect that Balin hired him to act as a personal guard in this foreign land. He is not fit for much else. Not fit. Brunt is no seaman, 'tis true. If I had not seen his face the day he boarded, I would have thought him a Daemon. He was so green. Green? He was seasick the entire voyage, my lord. I have never seen anyone worse. And what a temper. 'Tis to be hoped he is better mannered on land. I feel like he isn't, Deadeye. Deadeye is the only one of Battlin's companions that I truly know. I cannot say that I'm happy about the association either. What do you mean by that? I served with Deadeye on another ship, several years back. He used to bully the crew by telling them that white eye of his could curse a man. Deadeye liked to provoke a fight and dare the other man to hit him. No one would, for fear of that eye. Sailors are a superstitious lot, I fear, my lord. Okay, that's enough of that. What can you tell me of Fawn? 'Tis a city over there, my lord. They claim to honor beauty, which my face naturally offends. They are hard-pressed, what with the goblins and all. And what do you know of the goblins during your short stay here? It is a blessing that thou and thine honored pikemen companions did wrest the Fawn Tower from the goblins. Fawn could not have long resisted a determined attack, and my companions and I would have been the next delicacy in the goblin stew pot, I fear. We have no city gates to hide behind. Goodbye. Let's get that map. Yeah, they're not in a good spot, are they? They're out here in the storm. No fence, no defenses, no nothing. Well, let's go find Scots, and he's right here. Good, a new face. I'm Scots, a geographer. Perhaps thou wouldst share tales of other places with me, so I might add detail to my maps. Ruggs said you can give me a map. Can I have one? Lord British once said that I was the finest map maker in all Britannia. I take great care in my work. Really? I've never heard of you. Since I have explored very little of this continent, I fear that my map is less than accurate. I would be honored if thou wouldst accept a copy of my map. Perhaps it would aid thee in thy quest. I will happily take it. Before we go anywhere else, let's go through his dialogue. Goblins. The pikemen tracked them into the woods around their knight's test west of here. Then they simply seemed to disappear. We would stand their attacks only with the help of the pikemen. We had given up hope when the goblins took the tower. But we may hold a while longer now that it hath been returned to Monitoring keeping. Knight's test. All I know, good knight, is that all Monitorians travel to a peninsula southwest of here for some rite of passage. 'Tis all I can tell thee, unless thou wishest to further enlighten me. No, you are correct. Pikeman. Thou seekest to jest with me. By the mark on thy face, 'tis plain to see that thou art a pikeman. Surely Monitor's bravest have better things to do than pull pranks on a poor land-bound sailor. Just wanted to know what you knew about pikemen beyond my tattoo, I guess. Storms. I traveled far and wide all my life, and never have I seen the likes before. These storms appear without warning, and leave chaos in their wake, move things around, change things around. Simply not natural. Makes me think Leon might be right. Right about what? Thou hast not met Leon yet. Thou hast only to look for the crowd of people. Thou ought to find him the center of it all, no doubt. Leon is a very charismatic Fellowship follower. He speaks their beliefs fairly, to be sure. Hath drawn many of the folks from the town. I'll wager that's why that priestess had us banned from entering the city. You're referring to Callista. Callista is as beautiful as the day is long, but with the soul of a viper. I wouldn't trust her if I were thee. She's plotting something with the Chancellor, I'll wager. Who's that? That little worm named Zulith. Lady Alinda's shadow. Leads her around by the hand all the time. If thou seekest an audience with the lady, thou must first speak to Zulith. I saw Callista speaking to Zulith the day before we sailors were banned from the city. She is afraid that Leon was stealing her followers, and Zulith, the power-hungry toad that he is, saw to it that her wishes became law. 'Tis the great captains and the chancellor that run things in Fawn, I'm afraid. And what can you tell me about the great captains? We asked this back in Fawn 2 parts ago. There are 3 of them, Joth, Garth, and Volden. Make a great show of honoring beauty, but they honor money and power more. Belinda consults them and Zulith about everything, even the dinner menu, I'll warrant. And with Callista's whispering in Zulith's ear, thou hast bet count her as one of the powers of Fawn as well. Tails. What good's geographer if he cannot explore, make maps, and map the lands he finds? The storms keep me and my shipmates from taking to the sea. I ask all those who come to me for tales of distant places. There may be some truth in the telling, and I add what I can to my maps, as Gwenno suggested. Gwenno. She contacted me back in Britannia with an opportunity to explore a new land. Naturally, I accepted. She was to transport some sort of obelisk here for the Fellowship, and then she was free to explore and collect all the tales she wished. What sort of obelisk? It was abominably heavy, quite a chore to move it on land. Then one day after we had it safely on the shore, and Gwenno had already headed inland, there was a huge explosion. When I could see again, there stood Batlin, and the obelisk was shattered all over the ground. Batlin. You know where he went? We know where he went. He went to Sleeping Bull. We'll go there eventually. He seemed most upset at the time he arrived, though I suspect that it was merely a result of the disorientation from the teleportation storm that brought him here. Sleeping Bull, then he's at some sort of castle. He's likely like 6 steps ahead of the Avatar. He took several members of the crew with him and headed inland. He was looking for some black rock artifact. Mayhap it doth have some connection to the obelisk? I don't know. Black rock artifact, we had one. And apparently, there's an opposite version of that artifact somewhere here in Serpent Isle. I remember that he mentioned that it was fashioned in the likeness of a snake, but that's all. Thou mightst ask Delphynia, the herbalist. I know he talked to her. We already talked to her, but what do you know of her? She's an herbalist in the city that hath been doing the healer's work ever since the goblins killed the last healer. Thou shouldst ask Ruggs if thou wishest to know. They spent quite a bit of time together before we were cast out of the city. We talked to him, but what's your opinion on him? Thou wouldst know if thou hadst seen him. What he lacks in handsomeness, he makes up for in the goodness of his heart. He cares deeply for Delphynia, but Delphynia is a superstitious woman, and fears Ruggs' deformities are the result of some curse. Is a sadness, they would make a fine couple. Fellowship. I can tell thee that it digresses from the virtues that Lord British set forth, but it makes sense. Talk to Leon. He's far more eloquent than I on the subject. No thanks. We heard about the philosophy way too much in the Black Gate. We're going to talk to everyone else. This is Alisan, by the way. We haven't met her yet, but we heard about her and Fawn. And this is a pirate. I'm not going to worry about him. Oh. Okay, I forgot that she basically comes up to you and talks to you, but that's Alisan. It is always an honor to serve the pikemen. I am Alisan, daughter of Delin. I'm a weaver by trade. Ah, this must be your ring. I heard that thou hast been asking after me, that thou didst have an interest in my missing engagement ring, or perhaps in the gauntlets that replaced it. That is it indeed. I thank thee for telling me, but thou mayest keep it if thou wishest. Keep it. I have no use for it, though. If thou wouldst wish the honest truth, I do not think that my beloved Keth will ever come back from wherever that storm took him. Therefore this ring hath only melancholy memories for me. This jewelry hath become bitter to me. What do you know of what happened to Keth? We know, teleport storm. Keth and I were to marry, but it was not fated to be. He was first mate on one of the largest merchant ships. On one of his voyages, he purchased the engagement ring from an artisan in Moonshade, as I recall. But then the storms came and ships began disappearing, and eventually it was Keth's ship that never came back. About those gauntlets. I assume that the gauntlets are thine. They are clearly meant for someone more adventurous than a mere weaver. Wouldst thou like to have them back? Absolutely. Gimme. Then thou shalt have them. Here. Thank you very much. One more moment of thy time if thou wilt, Reuben. Can this wait? I want to go explore the woods and do some adventuring. There was a lot of talk in the last part. But I can't just leave, we have to hear what she has to say. A person like thyself, brave and adventurous, could be useful in times like these. Wouldst thou be willing to aid us in liberating this city from false traditions and evil schemes? Maybe I need to hear more. If thou wilt only let me explain the concepts, I am certain that thou wilt join our cause. What sort of false traditions are you talking about? According to legend, the oracle was brought by our ancestors from Sosaria, our homeland. It now stands in the Temple of Beauty. Our traditions teach us that the statue is an infallible guide to truth and beauty. But we suspect that the legends are false. We? Most of the young people of the town belong to the cause, but they are not willing to say so publicly for fear of exile. I am also pleased to say that Leon supports us, as do the other Fellowship members. Guide to truth. The oracle actually speaks. All of us have heard it. He speaks in reply to the Priestess of Beauty. The Statue of Beauty only speaks at certain times, such as during the spring festivals or when the city needs special guidance. According to tradition, it will also reply to the ruler of Fawn. However, I've never seen Lady Alinda speak to the statue. She leaves such duties to Callista. Maybe that's not very smart, if what Scots says about her is correct about her being a viper. Evil schemes. The oracle is supposed to speak only the truth, yet it too often parrots the words of the priestess and the great captains. We do not believe that truth only serves those in power. We think that someone hath corrupted the oracle. Oh no, that's no good. What can you tell me about Callista? Callista is the worst example of this pernicious doctrine of beauty. She believes that her attractiveness marks her as superior to all others, and that her sensuality is a divine gift by which to influence men's minds. Callista is lustful and greedy, but she is also cunning. She is very dangerous to us. I will keep that in mind. Great captains. According to all our traditions, only women are capable of ruling in Fawn, for only women are capable of true beauty. The highest station which a male can hope for is to serve as one of the great captains. These men serve as Lady Alinda's advisors. Yet they do much more than merely advise. There are three of them: Garth, Joth, and Volden. I heard about them. What about Garth? Because he's the youngest of the captains, we had hoped to find a way to persuade Garth to support our cause. When one of us spoke with him, he claimed to be sympathetic to the cause. Yet Garth says he is afraid to confront Volden with our suspicions. I do not trust him. And what of Volden? Volden is the one who truly controls the great captains. I think he would make himself a ruler of Fawn, if he could find a way. Volden is a cruel man who secretly despises women. If there is an evil scheme, then Volden must be the mastermind. I will also keep that in mind. What of Joth? The sailors trust and respect Joth. In mine heart, I cannot believe he is part of any conspiracy to control the oracle. We thought of asking Joth to aid us, but he hath not been the same since the storms. He doth live in his memories and stare out to sea. I think he cannot stop yearning to return to sea long enough to be of much help. And lastly, what of the ruler, Lady Alinda? She too is a prisoner of beauty. Alinda must not strain herself lest she mar her perfect appearance with any sign of weariness. The great captains therefore have usurped many of her duties, on the pretext of sparing Alinda from tedium. I do not think that Lady Alinda, the lady, to be the mindless, spineless creature, which some others do. I think she is a victim of this system. Okay. Now that I have explained it, thy duty must be evident. Wilt thou join us in this cause? Yes, I will. It's time for the Avatar to do some Avatar things. For a change. Thy courage doth delight the soul of a weary rebel like myself. Be ready at any time, for one doth not know when the time to act shall arrive. We once tried to enter the temple during the night while Callista was with one of her lovers, but the guards foiled our attempt. Nevertheless, look else everywhere. Talk to everyone. See if thou canst find the clue that hath eluded us. What do you know of these storms before we leave? The storms have not been kind to us, my lord. Without our fleet, Fawn cannot hope to survive for long. Fleet. The storm stripped us of our ships one by one. Some were plucked away, even as we watched. Others left harbor and never returned. And beauty is cold comfort to those who have lost their loved ones. Thou hast not seen the storms hit and watched as something vanished before thy very eyes? I have seen that, personally. Then count thy blessings, my lord. No blessings here, Fawn. Fawn, the city of beauty. Fawn, the city that lost love and vanity in the pursuit of power. Beauty nourisheth the senses, my lord, but love nourisheth the soul. The soul of Fawn withered long ago. Beauty. The people of Fawn are content to let the world end, as long as it doth not mar their beautiful view of the dying embers. Love? Love and beauty were once regarded as aspects of the same entity. Whoever loved was beautiful. Whoever nurtured the beauty of truth was loved. Now the two are sundered, and Fawn cares for no one but herself. And lastly, the goblins. The goblins have grown bold of late. They have often come to hurl themselves upon our gate. Thankfully, we have held fast so far. Their attacks bring fear in me for Leon and his companions. Lady Alinda hath forbidden them entrance into the city, even if 'twere certain death, to remain outside. Oh boys, more dialogue. I want to go through all this. Leon. Thou hast not heard Leon speak? Oh, thou shouldest. He doth tell us something wonderful, wherein all people are equal and capable of independent thought. Something called the Fellowship. I feel like I probably shouldn't break it to her. Not like we can. Thou canst find him at the camp outside the city gates. I had thought we had rid ourselves of that blight. But it seems that it is following in Battlin's footsteps. Indeed, YOLO, indeed. I bet you just repeat yourself with the Linda, right? Yep, you do. Companions. Leon's companions are the sailors that brought him here. Their names are Scots, Ruggs, and Kalen. What can you tell me of Ruggs? Ruggs is a sailor for sure, while he seems to take well to gardening now that he is on shore. Thou canst not mistake which of the three is Ruggs. His face is hideous to behold, though he speaks fair enough. My goodness, Scots. Scots is not precisely a sailor, I suppose. He is actually a cartographer. He is most often with his pens and ink, drawing intricate little lines. Lines? I surmise all those lines make a map. I do not know. I do not know how he could be making a map either. He cannot go anywhere because of the storms. And who is Kalen? Of the three of Leon's companions, I know the least about Kalen, and I have no desire to learn more. He always seems to be hovering about, staring at me. He never seems to be doing anything around the camp. It's a bit suspicious. Fellowship. Imagine, my lord. Imagine what the world would be like if only we trusted one another, worked together, and sought to earn that which we strive for. Imagine if women were not coddled or thought of as inferior. What would the world be like if we all listened to our inner voice? The world would be full of frustrated fools, I'm sure. Another one who hath fallen prey to the empty promises of the Fellowship avatar. Indeed. If only she knew the truth that the Fellowship just worships an interdimensional god bent on world domination. Nothing else, Alisand, nothing else. Now before I leave, I want to talk to this guy. I just remembered something. I want to talk to him before I do anything in Fawn, which will be in the next part. After I'm done talking to him, we're going to go in the woods and try to find that area that Craig talked about. It's been 35 minutes already, my goodness. There's a lot of talking in this game. Interesting stuff, at least. Be careful, mate, lest thou be mistaken for an honest seafaring man. What's your name? Second mate, Kalen, to ye. Oh, we just heard about you from Alisand. What do you know about these goblins, storms? I'll choose those later, job. I'm a seafarer. I do whate'er the captain wants done. Goblins? Green fellows, hospitable. Be thou sure to accept their dinner invitation. Storms? Afraid of a bit of rain? Run back to town like a good boy. I'm sure the lady would find ye an interesting pet. I want to stick my sword in your gullet. Bye. Good riddance, he says. Here's the obelisk. You know what this is? Pieces of the Black Gate, probably. Or he's trying to build a new Black Gate for the Guardian to enter. I don't know how he's going to do that, because the whole thing with the Black Gate in the original game. What the deuce? What? Admiring my handsome mug? Let's talk to him after saving. Thy service, he says, but it won't go into conversation. What a pleasure to meet one of the illustrious Monitorian knights. I am Zulith, Chancellor of Fawn. How might I assist thee, my lord? I guess we gotta do some more conversation. You know what? I want to do some adventuring for a change. Oh boy. I serve as an envoy from Lady Alinda to the great captains. I oversee all the minor details that should not worry her ladyship. I also exchange various forms of money. If thou dost wish an audience with her, I can examine her schedule. Let's do that later, I guess. Lady Alinda. She is the ruler of Fawn and all its environs. All who honor beauty honor Alinda. She is a wise and compassionate leader. Everyone doth love her. Her beauty is only rivaled by that of Callista. What can you tell me about Callista? Yep, she's the priestess of beauty. Alinda is the embodiment of all Fawn itself. Because Callista presides over the Oracle, she is the personification of beauty. What can you tell me about the Oracle? Many people believe that the mages of Old created the Oracle. I do not believe such. I have stood alone in the temple gazing at it, and I will tell you that it is a living being trapped there in that statue. Those mages did not create a magical item. They summoned some beautiful spirit and trapped it there. Sure they did. Temple. I often go there when the day hath been difficult. 'Tis directly behind the palace. 'Tis so quiet and peaceful, except before a revelation. Revelation? Yes, revelations are quite exciting. A message from the heavens, or at least that poor trapped spirit. Often 'tis the only thing many people have to give them hope in these troubled times. Storms. Quite disruptive. They have totally depleted our fishing fleet. Great Captain Garth doth have plans laid for rebuilding the ships, but 'twould not be safe until these storms subside. Great Captain Joth is in charge of finding the means to sustain the city until this unusual weather clears. Great Captains. The Great Captains are the counselors to Lady Alinda, ruler of Fawn. Garth, Joth, and Volden are three of them. Yeah, we heard that already. Volden. Volden doth have a history of service to Fawn. He was unanimously nominated for the council position by his fellow captains. Volden works in conjunction with the captain of the guard to assure Fawn's safety. He is senior on the council. What of Garth? Garth comes from a fine family. He is the youngest member of the council, but wisely tempers his views to those of the senior council members. Garth is also something of a ladies' man, I fear. No, who isn't on Serpent Isle? Garth's family. His family doth own a shipping business. They had been merchant seamen for generations. As his mother's youngest son, he took the council seat when his cousin resigned. His elder brother is now in charge of the family shipping business. And Joth. Joth was the final sea captain before he was injured. He favors beginning to rebuild the fleet now, but hath deferred to Volden's opinion that it would not be safe to do so at this time. Not safe. Who would cut the wood to build the ships for fear of more goblins? And no sane person would venture into the open, with these storms arriving without warning. No, we must wait until this weather clears before we can hope to begin rebuilding our fleet. You know, at this rate, I may as well just stay here in Fawn and do the quest that Alisand gave us. I'm going to try to leave after Zulith leaves. Fear of more goblins. Everyone knows that goblins breed like flies upon carrion. Even though the tower hath been retaken, it will not be long before they are back. You have little faith in Monitorian pikemen, sir, which is probably understandable considering we know about how disunited they are in Monitor. Injured. Josh's ship ran aground during a storm. When his injuries would not allow him to return to sea, Lady Alinda most graciously offered him a seat on the council. Duties. 'Tis their honor to oversee the fleets and all trade matters. They are all seamen who have been appointed to their post in recognition of their expertise. History. Volden served as served Fawn as a member of the city guard in his younger days. Before he became a council member, he was a fishing captain. Change subject. Of course. What dost thou desire to know? Goblins. Most horrible creatures. Dost thou know that without the possibility of escape by ship because of the storms, I had actually feared that the city might be lost? Knowest thou the brave pikemen that restored our safety? I'm sure that Lady Alinda would like to thank them personally, if possible. Yeah, it's me. Pray tell me their names that I might relay them to her ladyship at once. I do not know their names. I led the attack, or we'll choose the middle one. It's more humble and it's more accurate. Truly thou art the bravest Monitoran alive. Lady Alinda will surely wish to thank thee herself. About that audience. Lady Alinda doth receive visitors and petitions every morning. Let us see. She could receive thee sometime next week. Perhaps if I intercede for thee, thou mightst be received earlier. I shall see what I can arrange. And lastly, bye. Goodbye. Walk in beauty, he says. I was not expecting him to come from this direction. You're really supposed to be, like, I think, in the city, talking to Alisand. Because him coming outside of the city is rather... What? Oh, so this is still around. Is that what you guys are talking about? Are you following me? Art thou following me? Ah, busy man, my lord. If thy business lies along the route that mine doth, what fault of mine is that? Besides, what hast thou done to warrant thy worries that I might be following thee? Cheeky fellow. Arrogant strangers. Yeah. Thematically, you're supposed to be in the city, doing your thing, progressing this quest. It makes more sense for Azula to follow you in the city and not out here, because out here it's pretty obvious he's following us. I'm just going to ignore this obelisk. You know what that is. They're trying to build a new black gate for the Guardian, Batlin. But like I said, and I haven't forgotten, how is Batlin going to do that? Because the whole thing with the black gate, in the black gate, in order for the Guardian to enter Britannia, the event called the astronomical alignment is supposed to happen. It happens only every once in a while. Emphasis on once in a while. But we got a map, finally. It's right here. We got the gloves too. I will take these gloves. All we need left is our magical helmet and our magical chest piece. These gloves here can go to Duper. Put that there. Now I'll sell those. We also got a sextant. We are currently 89 south and 9 east. And we got a macaroni. Organize this all a little bit. And right here, this is Serpent Isle. That's Monitor. This is where we arrived. That's the Sleeping Bull. Across the, on the isle beyond is Moonshade, right here. This right here is Monk Isle. We were there. And here's Fawn, and here's the forest. Knight's Test is around here. So finally, I'm going to do a bit of exploring. I feel like naturally I should go to Fawn and do their thing there. Before I continue, you may notice the layout, well, or not. This is the Lands of Danger to Despair. I mentioned that already, didn't I? So the Avatar did visit these isles a long time ago before he became the Avatar. How the mages, like, broke away, not mages, but how they took an entire island away from Sassari and brought it to a different dimension like this is... I don't know how that's even possible. It's like, they don't even mention it. They don't even bring it up. The methods of it. But let's ignore that. But yeah. These are the Isles of Danger and Despair. The Lands of Danger and Despair. So we're visiting familiar territory. Oh, it's a rabbit. Familiar territory. Here we are. Scott said this map isn't entirely accurate. It's mostly accurate. And we're going to need this map in order to explore this forest. Ah, this is something here. That is a bone flute. I'm not going to worry about that. It's also noon. I want to do the Monitor stuff first and then Fawn, though. It might be wise to do Fawn first. That's a snake. It's not a whole lot of experience. He says north of Knight's Test. I'm going to go south, though. I don't know what the endpoint's going to be. Where are we? No one's gonna chime in? We are lost, Avatar. No, we're not. We're right here. Oh, what is this? That's a skull. That is a dark female monk. Can I talk to these ladies? No, I cannot. Look! He says. How you guys doing? They're not hostile. They're just... They are hostile. How about you? I hope you don't cast Death Bolt. We casted that. That's Curse. That yellow outline around the avatar. It will go away. Curse lowers your stats temporarily. We also got some experience, 534. No one else did. They got absolutely no. I got cursed for no reason. But I did get some experience. Let's go south. Going the wrong way. I feel like there was something here. Oh, a bear. Ah, that's you. And wolves. Bears are cool creatures, but unfortunately this one needs to be put down. Hope this curse goes away. I'm sure it will. Yep, this is Knight's Test. There's nothing here, so let's go back to where we started. After we fight these wolves. And the bear. I was writing something down when I was being attacked by him. How much health do you have? Come on, guys. Put it down. Ooh, you know... Can 4 guys take on a bear with melee weapons in real life? I imagine one of you are going to get hurt really badly. Did we get any experience? No, we didn't. So we got a little bit. YOLO's level 3. Wonderful. Strength and combat for him. Then after that, I just kind of focus on combat, I guess. For YOLO, he's always ranged. Let's go back to the woods. All right, I think this is a good starting point. We're going to explore this entire area. Try to find that meeting spot. It's nearby, I believe. I believe it's nearby. Craig said north of Knight's Test. So this is Knight's Test here, and this is north. These snakes are slowing us down a little bit. How about you? More snakes. Of course, it is called Serpent Isle, so I imagine we're going to run across many snakes to slay. Not good to travel when it's like raining and thunder. Oh, goblins! Ah, that's you. Wait, a bottle, YOLO says. I don't know if you saw that. Not a good time, YOLO. Wait to take out these goblins first. Gotta slay all of them. You guys gonna get him? Hit it? Come on, Avatar, kill that one. There we go. Where are you guys? Another goblin? Yep. There we go. Wait, a bottle. Here. Do you recognize this bottle? I will mess with that in a bit. Let's loot a little bit first. All the... Oh. That goblin's still alive. Let's take him out. There we go. Combat music down. Let's move these guys up here. I don't want them disappearing. I want to loot them. It's a bottle. Let's pick it up. A clue. Dupre says, Avatar, this bottle is identical to the one from which thou didst drink at the inn in Monitor. How can I forget? It is a bottle of Fawnish ale. It's Simon's bottle. Well, Simon was the one who likes drinking these bottles. He's the only one in Monitor who drinks it. That's very, very important. You're getting experience. You know, Shamino and Dupre are really lagging behind. Let's loot finally. I'm gonna open up all these and put it right here. Now we'll do this from here on out. It's faster. I think that's all the goblins, right? 5 of them. Let's move these over here like that. Otherwise, I can't click on that. Alright, YOLO. Finally, you have a full set of leather armor. At least all my guys are equipped with something. Do I need any helmets? Doesn't seem like it. He's already open. We don't need spears. You can throw spears in this game, I believe. Don't need that. Shamino. Take this, oh, dried fish. Yummy. Banana. Pastry. Mutton, pastry, and an apple. And a stick of butter. Yeah, put that in the bag. Got some more food. Speaking of food, I'm getting hungry in real life myself. Oh, that won't fit? That's too bad. Well, thankfully you have space in your backpack, Shamino. Speaking of which, I forgot to put this here. That should be it. But yeah, this is the meeting spot. We got a question silent when we go back to Monitor, but before we do that, we're gonna explore this area. And overall, just see what's in store for us around here. There's enemies, there's bears, wildlife, like this one right here. Ah, She-Wolf. Is that one dead? Oh, it's not. I really don't like it when our companions don't kill enemies when they drop. It's a little annoying. There's nothing in this hollowed out tree. Hopefully we'll find something around here that's in a hollow tree. Though it's not very important until way later on. Ah, house. The dead woman. She's been cut in half. Likely by goblins. She's got a necklace. Rest in peace. Ah, boars at you. Where are you going, Avatar? Attacking that right there. Come on, guys. Gotta attack. There we go. A little annoying. Sometimes, the way I do it, I exit combat and go back in, then they reconfigure themselves. And yo, you gotta do something. You can't just stand there. Take out this last one. Is that it? Oh, I'm slowing down again. Because this cow is still alive. There we go. Yeah, land on the dead kid's body. That's wonderful. But take all this food. Take all the food. Because I need it. This kid has... oh, mandrake. A mandrake root. I'll take that. Slowly working myself to having reagents in my pack. Shamino, take these. Just plates, forks, knives. I don't know what these guys are thinking. Storing stuff. Trying to live in these woods where goblins are. Not very smart. Don't need those. Don't need that sword. Got a flute, though. Ah, a pie. I'll take that. Already opened that. Should I take this scythe? I don't know how much damage a scythe does. Should I take it? Should I not take it? Reminds me of the Death Scythe back in Blackgate. Now, why didn't I get to bring that with me to Serpent Isle? If the Avatar was thinking, oh, it would make our adventure too easy. Or, Spark just took it from me. Forever. You can cremate these guys here. That actually might be the right thing to do. Well, if I change my mind, I'll come back and get their bodies. This is a good place to get food, too. Fight the cows and fight the boars. Let's walk around a little bit more. There's something else around here. Can't remember exactly where it is. Oh, here you go, deer. Anything in here? Nope, that's nothing in there. There's another area around here that I want to check out. Ah, here it is. This is... nothing in there, but this is... the House of Wares. We can't enter, though. I know where the key is, if I remember correctly. And we'll get that key eventually. Or if you find a way to blow open that door, you can do that. It's a little bit of an Easter egg, this house. But I think it's time to go back to, I think I'm done here in the woods for now. We're going to come back here in the future. You'll see. We also got a fair amount of experience. Dupre's level 3, almost level 4. Shamino 2. Yeah, let's go back to Monitor. Ah, bit of a pause here. We found something. We got some money right here. And this is a serpent crown. Just sitting here in the hollowed out tree. Oh, take that. That seems very important. Serpent crown. Dupre, carry all this for me. That is 87 guilders. Monetari, can I stack that? No, I can't. I'll worry about it later because we need bags, man. Why can't Craig sell bags? Let's go back to Monitor. Simon's got some explaining to do. How did this bottle arrive where the goblins meet? In the woods. Save. Now I'll talk to you. Let's see what he has to say. Hey. I'll choose this first, trader. Yeah, he just says that. I couldn't remember if I chose that or not. He just directs you to Craig, and Craig directed us to the meeting area in the north, which gave us clues to come here. What can you tell me about this brown bottle that I have here in my pack? I cannot imagine. Oh yes, I remember. I was taking a walk in that area. I must have been careless and dropped the bottle. Walk? That is correct. I was taking a walk. Sometimes I want to exercise and enjoy the fresh air. What about goblins? What about them? They did not bother me. We cannot let them control our lives. Way up there. Yes, what is wrong with that? Do you know that area is where goblins meet? Is that the area they believe is the goblin rendezvous? I do not believe it. I have never seen goblins there. So thou dost go there often? No, not at all. I only meant I did not see any goblins then. My instincts tell me this man is lying, Avatar. Don't need instincts for that. It's obvious he's lying, Dupre. Thou art lying. So, I have been found out. Well, to blazes with it all. Lorfogtar. What? He's a goblin? All this time? Thou hast found out my secret. Now, thou must die. You against 4 of us, have at you. Yeah, don't help at all, YOLO. I don't need your help. Thou hast slain me. My blood spills away, all because of Palm Durgan, that betrayer. Come nearer that I may boast of my deeds before I die. Of course, deeds. I am a goblin. I have lived amongst the foolish knights all these many years, and no one has suspected. Yes, I supplied my fellow goblins with all of Monitor's military secrets. What sort of military secrets? That is right. I have relayed patrol plans and other military information to King Palm Durgan. The assault on Fawn Tower was a success, thanks to me. Monitor's knight champion was ambushed because of mine ingenuity. And what can you tell me about Palm Durgan? He is our leader. But he hath double-crossed me. That is why I am telling thee this. He promised me the helm of Monitor, but the greedy bastard kept it for himself. After all the loyal years I have served the goblins, I deserve it. Well, I shall have to extract revenge. Loyal years? How long have you been serving Palm Durgan? That is right. I have been a Monitor longer than anyone else here. I came to the town many, many years ago. I thought Monitorians were suspicious of strangers. Many years ago, it was Palm Durgan's father who procured the magic potion that enabled me to change my appearance, but now, I am tired of being a man. I want to be a goblin again. I have thrown away my entire life. I want to die. Cover. A Moonshadian mage created a potion that enabled us to make our appearance manlike, but it is addictive. I cannot live without it. Revenge. Perhaps thou wouldst like to know the secret location of Palm Durgan's camp? I thought I was promised to slay King Palm Durgan. I shall tell thee. Sure. There's a great dead tree in the Knight's Forest, north of Knight's Test. Thou wilt know it because it is surrounded by rocks. Hidden nearby is an ancient stairway, leading into the bowels of the earth. This leads to a passageway which will bring thee to the chief's village, hidden in a secret valley. No man hath ever set foot there. But be careful. There are many challenges for the unwary, and thou must survive to cleave Palm Durgan's head into two. The passageway is sealed with an iron door, but thou shalt find the key tied around my neck. He's dead. No thanks to you, YOLO. Just stand around with your head in the clouds. Oh, I wonder where YOLO is. YOLO, help, we're fighting here. Oh, right. Oh, I'm a bard, I'm supposed to help the Avatar here. Alright, that's a lot of keys. My goodness, also a Morning Star. Well, YOLO's the key guy. He's got the bag for it. So we'll put, oh shoot. Well, I'll put these on the bottom here, because we haven't used any of these yet. Don't need the Morning Star. Actually, I take that back. Shamino, I think Morning Stars are better weapons than maces. That they're actually, no, the mace can go to Dupre. Not on there. And I forgot to mention, the kidney belt gives you +1 to defense, not like you need it. Though at this stage of the game, it might be smart to use it. Yeah, I think this here, no, I didn't do anything. There we go. Now we got a free place to rest and stuff if you want to. This key? Yep. So hold on. That's okay. Got 2 keys. Imagine it's going to open this chest in here. More Fawnish ale if you want it. I don't. Nice. Got some money. 76 monetary. Dupre, you can have that. We need that for training. Alright. This chest will be handy for storing stuff. This key here. This is why I know to use it. Already opened that. Why did I do that for? We'll close this. And ransack his hotel. I know we gotta report to Marston, to Brendan, to whomever, but I'm gonna do that in the next part. But yeah, that's about it. So in the next part, we're gonna talk to Brendan, Marston, whomever about Simon if they have new dialogue. And at this point, I think we can go get Dupre's shield from Luther, since we beat his butt in the last part at the Listfield.